So apparently we think that The Life of a Showgirl isn't nearly as poetic as Taylor Swift's previous albums. Yeah, that's just simply not true, and I'm going to prove it simply by looking at Eldest Daughter. Now, how I've broken this up, we're going to be looking at it, as if it was stanzas, as if it was an actual poem. If you look at the lyric book for The Life of a Showgirl, you can see Taylor breaks up each line with one of these single dashes and then each stanza with one of these two, and that's what we're going to be going off of for this video. So, starting with our first stanza in Eldest Daughter, it says, "Everybody's so punk on the internet, everybody's unbothered till they're not, every joke's just trolling and memes, sad as it seems, apathy is hot. Everybody's cutthroat in the comments, every single hot take is cold as ice. When you found me, I said I was busy, that was a lie. I have been afflicted by a terminal uniqueness. I've been dying just from trying to seem cool." So let's start with looking at our actual poetic devices here. So first of all, we can take a look at our rhythm and our syllables. So one thing that Taylor does in this stanza is we have 11 syllables in that first line and 11 syllables in that last one. What that does is it gives it a cap for these two lines. Now, we also look at this and we see a lot of alliteration and a lot of rhyming. So we've got jokes just, we have that alliteration there, and then we have that long O sound in jokes and trolling, and then memes is rhymed with seems in the next line, and we have sad as it seems. And then we have in this line 2 down, we have hot take is going against cold as ice. Now that is going to be a kind of juxtaposing these two pop culture concepts. The hot take, this is something that is not commonly agreed with, versus this idea of cold as ice. And then when you found me, I said I was busy, that was a lie. We will come back to that later when we're looking at this as an entire poem. And then in our last two lines, we have afflicted, terminal, and uniqueness. Those are those big tortured poets words, the more poetic words that we see. And Taylor, throughout this entire album, is constantly juxtaposing these more poetic words, afflicted, terminal, uniqueness, with these more pop culture terms, like cool in that second line. So I have been afflicted by a terminal uniqueness. I have been dying just from trying to seem cool. We have that juxtaposition right there. Come back for part 2.